The day of my mom's funeral, a friend's mom came up to me and said, "You will never get over it."
Okay.
That helped me.
Yes.
Because I didn't have to put a timeline
That's
on my
great.
grief. She just already said, "Look, she had lost her mom."
Yeah.
That's why she was able to come and say, "This is something you will never get over." Even if I've ever heard someone say, I've actually never heard anyone say, "Just get over it."
Oh, I have.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't lost a parent, but still, yeah.
Wow. I've never heard
Or
someone
like,
say
when
that.
are you going to get over it?
Yeah, they would be cut out of my life very, very quickly. She told me that, and so I never tried to get over it. It's not that I've never tried. I've learned, you learn to live with it. You learn to continue life.
Dance with it.
Yeah, you just learn to. I've never had someone tell me that. They would probably not be in my life if they told me that.
Welcome to the living room. Leave the over at the door. We'll talk it out till it's simple, till it's you again for sure. Life, leadership, money, and the names you outgrow. We make space for the woman coming through. Living room wisdom, where your story is your glory.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living Room Wisdom, where your story is your glory. Today, I'm thrilled to have my new fast friend, Kenyatta Boone, with us. She is the founder of Iris Studio Jewelry. La 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 la. It's a brand and a movement rooted in culture, confidence, and connection. Born in loving memory of her mom, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. It's actually why I connected so deeply with her when we met. But first off, I just want to welcome you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. So do you.
And you just need to pull the
right.
hair,
Let's
show off the earrings.
Show off the earrings.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my first time having a jewelry designer
Oh, nice.
on the show, so you should feel quite special.
I do.
Yes, but it's the soul.
Yeah.
It's the soul. It was your soul and your energy when we met, and then hearing the story of your mom. So just to give you context, she was vending at an event, a really cool event, and she had this beautiful picture. Her whole setup with her jewelry is there, and she has this beautiful picture of a woman. And tell us the story of how this jewelry line started and why mom's presence is everywhere that you go.
Yeah, so my mom actually
Very
passed when I was 16. I actually took care of her, though, between the ages of 15 and 16 when she was dying. She passed from cancer. And as I got older, the grief of all of that just started to come up. I was wild. I was out of control. And I didn't really know what to do with that grief. And then just one day it was, what can I do with this? How can I honor this person? How can I make this person proud? And I thought about my mom and what she loved. My mom loved jewelry. And then I just thought about, just when we were growing up, we'd leave, we'd get ready to go out. And my mom would say, "You don't want to go upstairs and put some earrings on, or don't you want to put some earrings on?" And at the time, we're like, okay, but I thought about that, and that reminded me of my mom, and I was like, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create earrings. She always encouraged me to be creative, to use my hands, to paint, to write. And so that became an outlet, really. Iris Studio Jewelry became an outlet for my grief, but also became a love story for my mom. Aww. It became a way that I honored my mom, but I also honored myself. I gave my grief a place to go. Yes. It is the force behind the jewelry business. And my mom is that woman sitting on the table. She is there with me everywhere that I go, every event that I do. I'm still talking about her. I'm still saying her name. She's
got a legacy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, she's still living, So my partner was actually doing some research on my mom the other day, because I just started, I was starting to get a little emotional. And she said, one of the things that comes up is your mom's obituary. She said the next thing that comes up is you and your jewelry. And I was like, you know what, that is so powerful that my mom didn't, she didn't die with, the obituary. She's still living. She's still alive through the work that I'm doing with the jewelry business. But yeah, it just became a way that I honored my mom and myself, my creative expression.
That's what I was going to ask. So were you creative growing up? Were
Oh,
you always
yeah.
creative?
Oh yeah, I loved painting. We were in Girl Scouts. My mom was the Girl Scout leader, but we were always making beaded bracelets and
Yeah.
necklaces and painting, and yeah, I've always been very, very, very crafty and creative. Yeah.
And did she nurture that? Because
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of people who are creative, who weren't born into families that understand artistry and creation, they try to control it or like minimize it. So did you have that experience, or did your parents nurture your creativity?
Oh, she nurtured it. So I have two sisters. So we weren't just crafty. We were singing. We'd sit her down in the house
Nice.
and make her listen to our songs. And yeah, she was always encouraging me to, hey, do you want to be a part of this, program where they have writing, or look, there's this opportunity for you to paint, or yeah, she was always encouraging me to be creative.
And was she a single mom?
She was.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
she
I
was.
keep hearing she.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so was Dad in the picture? Or
No.
At all?
My mom left my dad when I was 3. I think my little sister was 2.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
And do you have a relationship with him
I
at
do
all?
now. I do
Okay.
now. Still same dad, same guy, but I do have a relationship
Okay.
with my dad. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder how the dynamics would have been different in the home had he been there. Can you speak to that a little
Ooh,
bit?
Yeah, I always think about that because, my mom she was a single mom. She passed when she was 42. And I think just a lot of the burden that she carried. I mean, she enjoyed being a mom. She enjoyed raising her 3 daughters, but she did it alone.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that, the stress of it all, the having to carry it all, that contributed to the disease, which ultimately killed her. And I think that if my dad was present or if she had more help, that stress, maybe it would have been less stress. Maybe she would have lived a little bit longer. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier for her.
Did she ever repartner?
She did, and he was even worse. He wasn't. Yeah, that's the thing about. Yeah, she did, but they ended up divorcing as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it. We talked about that too on her deathbed. My sister had mentioned that to my mom. It was just a really intimate moment, but she mentioned that my mom, lived her life and still didn't have these men that could show up and
Wow.
be good men, for her. Yeah, it was hard.
Wow. And so how do you think that shaped your view of men?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I always think about the people who I choose to date,
Yes.
how they mirror my relationship with my dad, and it's similar, unfortunately. My mom was very strong. She was very independent. I think for a long time I was kind of like that too. I don't need no man. I don't, but I also
It's
wanna
what
be,
we learn when we're raised by strong women.
Women, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong women.
And there's
who-
not a male presence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to be soft.
Yes.
I want to be soft. I want to be feminine. And I'm not saying that I can only be soft or feminine with a man. But I think that if I had a healthy relationship with a man, maybe it'd be easier for me to be, even as a single woman or as a woman, I don't just date men, but as a woman not dating men, I'm still very masculine, but I'm masculine because
Even in your current relationship.
Even in my current relationship.
Okay.
I'm masculine because I didn't have
Interesting.
I didn't have a father figure around to teach me how to be,
Yes.
to let my mom be feminine, to let my mom be soft, so that I didn't see often a really softer, soft woman.
Trust me, I understand. My mom
Yeah.
had me at 16, and
Yeah.
and my dad wasn't necessarily like in the picture for a good majority of my life. And I watched her and all her sisters, strong women, do it all, control everything, right?
Yeah.
And so I did also learn that, but through my relationships, I started to identify the patterns, and I mean, it sounds kind of terrible, but it's like, oh, no wonder they don't have long-lasting partnerships or whatever. It's because of these parts of ourselves that we have to give up or learn to trust in order to melt into our softness.
Yeah. Wow.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
And so I'm really interested because you're currently in a beautiful relationship with a woman. And so I'm interested to find out, this has nothing to do with jewelry, but we'll get back there.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I mean, and it doesn't, but it does.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
ties in,
Yeah.
right, to who you are
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
what you're creating in the world. And so how would you say the dynamics in your relationship with your not wife yet, right?
No,
but
not
partner,
yet.
long-term partner. How do you feel like it has enriched or enhanced your life?
That's a good question. I think, I'm still very much, I don't want to say masculine, but yeah, I'm still very
Still
much
a lot of
that.
masculine energy.
Yeah, but
that-
I'm learning. I think being with her has helped me identify
yeah.
that.
She's a great space holder.
Oh yeah. She is.
She's a gift.
She really is. She really is. She's helped me identify that, because I never thought about that when I was dating men. I never thought about am I operating in my feminine or am I masculine? But being with her, I started to recognize, wow, I'm really deeply operating in my masculine. And because she's a woman, I'm not saying it would have been different if I maybe dated men who were healthier and knew how to hold space, but it's easy to talk about that with her and to be open about that with her.
To create some safety.
Yeah, to create some safety, to have that conversation.
Safe space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. And so I know we talked about there's the conversation. We don't choose who we fall in love with.
Right.
And from what I understand, hearing the story, that wasn't something you were
No.
out there looking for either. And so what happens within you when you do finally identify a partner, male, female, otherwise, and I want to know. I'm a body person. I'm I want to know what was going on in your nervous system, right? Like, how did that feel to connect with somebody on that level and feel comfortable enough to move forward into the unknown, essentially?
So in high school, I was voted most unpredictable, which I love. And I think what it is I'm most unpredictable because I don't have any expectations of how something should or shouldn't be. I just, I identify love as just being what it is.
Yeah.
And so with her, when I met her, it was so unexpected, but all it was, oh, I love this person in this way. I love this person in this way. And so I didn't think male or female at that time.
So you didn't grow up with any messaging that made that wrong?
Oh, so actually I had a family member that came up to me after I started dating her and said that another family member didn't understand what my relationship with her was about. And I basically said, well, it's not for him to understand, but he will be respectful. But it's not for anybody to understand, because it's my life, it's my relationship. So I can't say I didn't grow up with family members who have their opinions about same-sex relationships, but I also really don't care, because it's not it's not about that. It's about love. It's about who you love and the way that you choose to love them. I don't want to get too graphic, but who cares about what is going on in
Get graphic.
Who cares about what's going on in the bedroom? Y'all are so concerned about same-sex relationships because you're thinking about the sex part.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about the love part. You're not thinking about the relationship part. I'm thinking about the love
attached.
and
Yeah. So you're functioning in love, which actually also comes through in your art.
Yeah.
Your artistry.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I found so interesting when I met you and experienced your jewelry installation, again, is the fact that you had mom present and you had the partner present and there was just this vortex of love.
Yeah.
It's like you walk in love. You create from love.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I love that. The slogan for the jewelry business is wear your story. My story is the love of my mom, the love of her legacy, the love for other women and what they're doing and their life, the love for myself. That's why I wear big, bold earrings, that's the love for myself. That's me showing up, loving me.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you said that.
For sure. I see it. I'm a big believer in core values and living your values. When you live your values, you shouldn't have to tell people what your values are.
Yeah.
And you live them.
Thank
I don't know what they all are, top 3, but I know love is up there.
Yeah. Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So how do people respond? I'm interested to find out because there's millions of jewelry makers, jewelry vendors. How do you see it being different than other, jewelry vendors or installations when you're at these, what are they called? Festivals or street markets, things of that nature. how do you see it being different when you inject your story? Because a lot of people put their accomplishments and their brand and their whatever before who they are as a person, and you've got yourself on display.
I do. I do. You know, I've cried with a lot of people at a lot of these festivals, because they come up and they see jewelry that they like, and then we end up having a conversation about my jewelry, this heirloom, how jewelry as heirloom. You know, that it's all telling a story. A necklace that maybe someone's aunt gave her, a ring that you share with your sister, but that doesn't normally just come up when we talk. They come and they're shopping for earrings or a ring, and then they see my mom, they ask who she is, and we go into all of that, and then the next thing you know, they're sharing their story about their mom and what that relationship was like, or their grandmother, and it goes deeper. I think that's what's different between my jewelry and other jewelry vendors. You know, one lady, after we spoke, she started saying, you know, my grandmother always wore bracelets, and we went and together we, you know, made her bracelet stack. We picked four or five different bracelets, and we just built them together, you know, in honor of her grandmother. But that's what makes this different.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's funny because did you set out to create a transformational jewelry line, or you were just processing grief and like it created itself?
Yes, I was telling my sister that the other day is I did not set out to start it. Like, it was really just a creative outlet.
Yes.
The grief is the driving force behind the business, right? Because it's so heavy. It was. So, yeah.
It was.
Some days.
Is it still?
Some days, yeah, it's heavy.
Wow.
Some days it's really heavy because, you know, my mom never saw me graduate from high school. She never saw me graduate from college. She's never, my mom didn't, she has not, yes, she's met the woman that I am now because, you know, she still exists, you know, not physically, but spiritually she still exists, but she's never met the woman that I am today. So that is heavy. And you know, the constantly missing her, the thinking about what could have been, so that grief is heavy. And so it is the force behind the business. So what happened was I need something to do with how I'm feeling on this day when it's hard.
Yes.
And sometimes that is getting up and going to a market and selling my jewelry. On Mother's Day, I usually will book an event because it's hard.
I'm sure.
But I get to sit and talk to other people and talk with them about their mom. And so in a way, it kind of, I'm still doing the work. It's not a distraction on Mother's Day. It's just I'm pouring that grief. Yeah,
it's transforming the grief into something positive.
Exactly.
And something shareable.
Yeah.
And as you were talking, I was like, oh, you could totally partner with like nonprofits.
Yes.
And go in and do, you know, the grief alchemy jewelry and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I'm working on. I have created 4 programs, but the one about grief is Grief to Grace. It's a Grief to Grace program that I want to work with, you know, churches, nonprofits, grief groups to really, you know, my grief is my creative expression. My grief needed a home. This is my home. It didn't need a job. But it needed a home.
Yes.
Other people's grief could be, you know, through music or through sewing, but you don't know that.
Positive, healthy grief.
Positive, healthy grief.
Expressed. Yeah, because a lot of people get very destructive. And I will say that I was actually one of those people.
Same.
When my husband passed, I went from shopping a lot to wine, to sex, to, you know, like you go through these phases. So the fact that you were able to find a healthy outlet for that grief and something that produces such a beautiful, you know, outcome is phenomenal. And so another question I have for you then is a lot of times how we process through and overcome our grief, once the grief is complete, it's like something we no longer do, right? So maybe if it was coloring or, you know, some sort of other artistry. And so what do you feel like the lifeline of your jewelry line is? Do you feel like the alchemy will continue even once you feel complete with the grief? You
know, I was actually talking about that too. I don't know this grief specifically, there's different types of grief. You know,
Yeah.
people can grieve relationships. It doesn't have to just be a loss of a loved one. My grief right now is just the loss of this loved one. I'm dealing with it every single day. I don't think it's something I will ever get over.
Right. They say that about the parental passing.
Yeah, I don't think it's something I'll ever get over. And so I don't think it will be, oh, I'm done making jewelry. I think, you know, there's a possibility where it transforms. I'm continuing the message of the work of my mom. My mom was a Girl Scout leader. My mom was very much women empowerment, sisterhood circle focused. She was doing, you know, book clubs with her sisters. She encouraged me and my sisters to be around other women. And so she had a positive impact on young. I'm continuing her work.
Yes.
I'm still doing that. So even if it will always be creative in terms of making earrings or maybe making a necklace. That's just who I've always been. But it may, it could grow into more impactful work just through speaking with youth about maybe leadership or confidence. And same kind of
It's
thing
got so many legs.
Yeah, it does.
It literally could go into so many different directions and you just wouldn't think that. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't think. You're like, I make jewelry, I make earrings, I make, you know, rings or whatever. It's fascinating to me. I am obsessed with art and creativity and just all the possibilities. All my kids are very creative and in different ways. So I find myself having to like kind of learn their, what do they call it? Their, not their modality, but their, there's a word.
Okay.
Of course, I can't think of it right now, but you know, it's gonna bug me. But anyway, their point of artistry, right? Like whether it's coding or whether it's illustration or
whatever their outlet is.
Painting. Yeah, there's a specific word I was looking for that I cannot find, and it's pissing
It's probably
me
gonna
off.
drive you crazy. Then as soon as this, you're gonna be like, I remember the word.
Yeah, but anyway, it's interesting because there's so many different forms of artistry, and identifying and nurturing it within yourself.
Yeah.
But then also being able to identify and nurture it in other people as well. I had another question for you too, and it was around people who say just get over it. And putting a timeline on your grief. You know, tell me your thoughts about that.
You know,
sips tea.
right. So you know, when the day of my mom's funeral, a friend's mom came up to me and said, "You will never get over it."
Okay.
And that helped me.
Yes.
So because I didn't have to put a timeline on my grief. She just already said, look, she had lost her mom.
Yeah.
That's why she was able to come and say, this is something you will never get over. And so, you know, even if I've ever heard someone say, I've actually never heard anyone say, just get over it.
I have.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't lost a parent, but still, yeah.
Wow. I've never heard
Or
someone
like,
say
when
that.
are you going to get over it?
They would be cut out of my life very, very quickly. You know, she told me that. And so I never tried to get over it. It's not that I've never tried. I've learned, you know, you learn to live with it. You learn to continue life.
Dance with it.
Yeah. You just learn to. But yeah, I've never had someone tell me that they would probably not be in my life if they told me that. Yeah. But how do I feel about someone saying that? I would hate for them to be in the position where they take a really hard loss like that and they don't have compassion and someone else doesn't have compassion for them and tells them to just get over it. Then maybe they'll understand what it's like. And then maybe, you know, go back and apologize to you or to whoever they said it to, because it's not something that you just get over.
Yeah. And you were one of our brand activations at the 100th episode event, and everybody loved their experience with you, and we're still talking about it long after the event. I don't know if you had an opportunity to meet our speaker, Dr. Karen.
No, I don't think so.
She was on the panel. You all need to connect.
Yeah.
She has a book called Healthy Grief, and she does a lot of work around grief and processing grief.
Okay, I remember her.
Okay,
her.
yeah, I think you guys, there's something in store for you all.
Yeah, I'm excited. Dr.
Yeah.
Karen, send me an
Hit me
email.
up.
Hit me up.
Well, I'm excited to see how it all evolves. And in regard to the jewelry, what's your vision for the jewelry itself? Do you want to be in boutiques? What are you feeling with that?
I do. I would love to do consignment and be in boutiques, but I really want it to really be about the message, the work, because it's more than just the jewelry. The jewelry was just my creative outlet. It's just my creative expression, but it's deeper than that. I would love for the jewelry to be in stores and people buying online, but really it's just about the impact that I'm making with the messaging, with how women feel when they wear it, the stories that they feel, what we share about, their loved one or themselves, their favorite ring, their favorite necklace. That's really what it's about. So it's more of an impact work.
It's a ministry.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that just came to me. It's definitely a ministry.
It is.
I love it.
Yes, thank you.
And you have also the more strategic, I know you do,
the build.
Yeah, the fractional work as well, operations. And so this could go in so many different directions because of the foundations you have. Sorry, I just came from Puerto Rico. I'm like,
oh no, you're good. You're good.
Like, why is she scratching like an animal?
You're good.
But I just feel like you have so much good foundation for which to build on with the jewelry or anything else that you're looking to do that's going to create ripples of impact.
Yeah, the Iris Studio Jewelry is the Build's client. They're two separate businesses, but it is the Build's client. Yeah.
And is Iris, was that mom's name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my mom's name.
I wondered.
Yeah, people will call me Iris. They'll say, "Hey,
Studio.
Iris." This one lady apologized. She's like, "I'm so sorry I called you." I'm like, "No, call me my mom's name, please."
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the legacy that you're building with this company and everything that it's going to become.
Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your heart and your story with everyone. And thank you for joining us on another episode of Living Room Wisdom, where your story is your glory. Where can people find you?
Social media. I'm on Instagram. I actually do a lot of pop-ups around the San Diego, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas area. Follow me at Iris Studio Jewelry on Instagram, and you can see my pop-up or check out my website, www.irisstudiojewelry.com.
And we'll go ahead and put all her information in our show notes so that you can connect with her, share stories, get your beautiful bling.
Yeah.
And with that said, thank you again for being here. And make sure that you guys subscribe so that you don't miss an incredible woman, an incredible episode. And leave us a review. We'd love to hear feedback. We would love to hear how these episodes are touching you, how they're resonating, and what you'd like to see next. So with that said, join us next week, Wednesday, for Living Room Wisdom. Same place, same time. Bye.
Bye.
Namaste.
Welcome to the